Welcome to Game Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia. With me today we got Brandon.
Hello.
We're here to talk about games and things.
Games and things.
What's on the agenda today?
I played some games.
Yeah, Brandon played some games. Some of the same things we played last week too:
Yep.
Marathon, Blueprints, Pokopia, but there's some new stuff in here.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. A little bit of news. You ready to get into it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You're up to bat first because you have new things this week. I've just
Oh yeah,
repeat.
sounds good. Sounds good.
We'll go from
There was a huge VR sale on the MetaQuest store
Uh-huh.
this last week, and I bought some stuff because I still had credit on my account from where my buddy bought him a headset and used my code during Christmas, which gave me $60 for free. So
Nice.
yeah, I bought a few things. I bought a game called Arcade Legend, which is a management sim where you basically open up your own arcade like Dave and Buster's. Like you get to like design the interior of the building and like paint it and like renovate the place, and you get to place the arcade cabinets where you want them to be and whatnot, and you can interact with all the arcade cabinets and actually play the games. It's pretty fun. It's actually like really fun. Between the management aspect of going and checking on the arcades, adjusting the sound quality so not like one arcade cabinet's louder than the others, and testing out the cabinets and making sure they're all in working order and stuff, and then finding the best places to place them to like maximize profits and stuff. It's really good. It's really, really fun, especially in VR, because it's kind of like just going to your own personal Dave and Buster's that you built yourself, and it's really enjoyable. I got it for like I think $12 on sale, and it's normally like 25 or something. It's good.
Not bad at all.
It's really, really good. You can also visit other people's arcades that they've made, and go and check out what their places look like. And they have a few pre-created arcades that are part of the little like story bit. So like you've kind of opened an arcade in a shitty area, like you kind of have like the shittiest area to open your arcade, and it's right across the from like a nice arcade, and right down the street from an arcade that's combined with like an axe throwing, like those places where you got to throw axes and stuff. It's that, and you can like walk to those arcades and actually go inside of them and play their games and do the axe throwing mini games and all that stuff all in VR, and it's really fun. It's really enjoyable, super immersive, super fun, and a great workout honestly as well. So I bought one of the DLCs for it as well, because they had a DLC that gave you skee ball.
Okay.
So I bought that so I could have skee ball machines as well, so officially licensed skee ball machines. And then it also allows you to have 10-pin bowling, and in the bowling alley that you create, you can make that and also into a giant skee ball machine as well, which is fucking nuts. So you're like using a bowling lane, but you're playing skee ball with it. It's really cool. So
okay.
Yeah, super neat, super interesting idea for a game. The kind of thing that you really couldn't do except in VR, because it is a lot of movement-based games, and they're like real games that you would play in an actual arcade. So like turn out the light, where like the buttons light up on that wall, and you have to like press the button and turn the light off and then other buttons start appearing, and you're kind of basically playing Twister while standing up, trying to turn all the lights off and everything. Like that's a game in this arcade VR game that you can play yourself. You can earn prizes and get XP based off of your skills in the actual games as well. So it's just really cool. It's like going to your own little arcade and having it all to yourself. Like obviously you have other patrons that come in there and actually give you money, which allows you to buy more arcade cabinets and upgrade the way the arcade that you're building looks, because you start with like a really shitty area, but as you put out more arcade cabinets, get more people to come in, spend more money, you're able to buy more arcades with attractions, which then you can play yourself, earn more money, also make more money from the people playing them, and so on and so forth. It's just really fun. It's really good. It's a very interesting idea for a game, and I like it.
Nice. Okay.
I also played Walkabout Mini Golf, because they had some DLC maps This is another VR game. It is a VR mini golf game. I personally think this is one of the best VR games there is because it's so simple, but it's very well made. Because it's like, you know, you could go to an actual mini golf course, but you can't go to a mini golf course that's themed after Alice in Wonderland. You can't
Mhm.
go to a place where like the golf, that you lose gravity when you hit the ball in certain areas and this, that, and the other. So it's like it messes with all of those things that you couldn't do at a real mini golf course and kind of like flips it on its head in some cases, literally, in order to like make really cool themed mini golf courses around things like Mist, Alice in Wonderland. There's a exhibit of Meow Wolf. There's an entire like plot line where you go through a layer of like a supervillain, and each course is a different thing. So like here's the ice cave where he tortures people, and here's that volcano where he's getting ready for like a big heist or whatever, and here's this place where he's trying to digitize everyone and turn them into his slaves to do his bidding and whatnot. And you go through like the evil layers of this villain, and you play through the mini golf courses that are themed around them. And there's also like an overarching plot, and in every single course you can hunt for like hidden golf balls that got lost in the course.
Mhm.
And when you find them, then those become customizations for your own golf ball that you can use in other courses or in that course or what have you. And the more you collect, the more options you have for what your golf ball looks like. And each course has like 18 golf balls, one on each hole of the course that you're playing. So hey, it's really fun. It's really fun. It's always been one of my favorite VR games, just to chill and have fun. Because, like I said, there's a lot of really inventive and interesting courses that you couldn't do in real life in these games. There's an entire one themed after Labyrinth, like with David Bowie and everything.
Oh, really?
And yeah, it's super cool. There's a lot
That's kind
of
of cool.
really neat ideas in this game. It's awesome.
Hmm.
They're all official too, so like they partnered with these things. It's not just like, oh, it's you know the maze. No, it's like literally Labyrinth with like David Bowie and everything. It's crazy. So it's neat,
Yeah, that is
really
really
fun
nice.
game.
Hmm.
Hmm. So yeah, those were the two things that I've been playing that are kind of new. I've been playing Marathon as well. Um, Everyone's been working on this ARG, which I guess I'll talk a little bit about that, but I'll mention more of it when we get to news.
Hmm.
So there was this ARG, and there were a bunch of puzzles you had to go around. I mentioned something with the terminals and everything, but it's gone to crazy land now. Like it went to a whole maze that you couldn't solve because it was like an infinite rotating maze, and you had to find in another video the actual coordinates on what to go to and how to figure out where to go for the maze. And then there was a whole nother thing where you had to map out star constellations on this browser so that you could unlock more things. And they've basically been like 6 steps, and now we're on the 7th step, which is no one really knows what they're looking at, but someone brute forced it and beat it early. And they were like, we can't have you doing that because they basically said, can you show your work? Can you show us how you got these? And they were like, not really. And someone basically hacked to get the information, and it kind of sucked that they did that. So they changed the puzzle and made it harder.
Yeah.
But today we found out why that is, which I
Hmm.
will talk more about the
News.
in the news. Yeah, but what I will say is I've been doing some runs to get up some money because we found out the next map that unlocks, which is called Cryo, is a game map that you can't play solo.
Hmm.
You have to have a certain amount of money in your vault, and every time you go into a run in order to play the map, you need to be a certain level to play the map, and you need certain things unlocked from the other maps in order to play this map. So I've been working on doing all of that stuff so that I can play it, because it's technically released, but
Hmm.
they're not pressing the button so that everyone can go into the map until the final part of the ARG is solved. So, and I'll tell you more about what happened with that when we go into news. But yeah, I just basically been grinding a marathon a bit and trying to get up my credits and money so that I can actually do the cool shit when it happens this week. So
Okay.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
that.
seems reasonable.
Yep. So they go on you with your stuff.
All right. So what have I been playing? Basically the same things as last week, except more of it. So I'll start with Blueprints. So yeah, I've gotten a lot farther with blueprints at this point. Um, so the way I kind of saw this game described is it kind of has like different acts in terms of the story. So the first act is kind of the premise of the game, which is really like, hey, you got this inheritance and you got to get to room 46, and that's kind of where the game starts. But really, once you get to room 46, that's just kind of like the beginning of the mystery,
Yep.
and then you have all these other fucking mysteries to like look into. And it's not just like surface level mysteries, it's like political intrigue and all this other like stuff.
Yep.
um
It goes some places.
so deep, and even some of the mysteries that exist, like people don't even have answers for it sounds like. And then there's even like speculation that based on some of the stuff that is in the game, that they may be even looking at some sort of like substantial update or expansion to kind of flesh out even some more of the stuff. Who knows if that's the case, though? That's more speculation side of things, but apparently there's a bunch of loose ends that seem like appropriate for something like that. But I really have been enjoying this game. I do, like, I had one of those moments yesterday where I was in the shower and I was like just getting ready for bed, and I was like, I'm like, this is the answer to the puzzle. I'm like, I have to do it. And obviously I haven't had time to do it yet. But just, it's kind of one of those like eureka moments, and it was great. So, just
Yeah,
kind of working me
Blueprints is
through that.
definitely a game you play even when you're not playing it. That's kind
Yes.
of that's kind of how
Hmm.
that game is.
And you really like, like I tried to brute force it with just kind of like screenshots and memory, but you can't. You really have to take notes. Like there's just so many different threads in this game, and so many just kind of disparate places that there's no way to keep a track of everything without documenting. So, and you can do it with screenshots. It's just going to take you forever to kind of go through things. So, yeah, I've been really kind of doing a mix of both. But when I'm done with this game, I'm probably gonna have to like exercise like 300 photos for my Switch. Because every time I see something, I'm like, oh, I take a screenshot of this because who knows when I'll be back to see it again. So, yeah, I've been doing a lot of that. It's definitely a lot of fun. I mean, each run probably takes maybe like 30 minutes. And the more you play, like, they definitely give you some stuff to really help flesh out those runs so they're not as troublesome as they are when you start. But you definitely can still get some real nasty RNG. I've definitely had it happen where it's just like, nope, the wrong rooms are coming up and you're just not making any progress and you're just kind of stuck. You're like, I need this one specific thing and I can't get it. And that sucks. Because some of the things will have you going through and being like, well, I need this combination of things or these items so I can do this. And if you just don't get them, you just don't get them. And you just got to hope that maybe next run will be a little better. So there is that thing. I did finally cave in and look up the answer to like one puzzle just because it was a self-solvable puzzle, like AKA like it was really kind of in the room. It just like the particular puzzle was not clicking with me. So I did end up looking up that one because I didn't want to waste so much
Mm-hmm.
time with it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a rebus puzzle. Do you know what a rebus puzzle is? I mean you do, but you might not know the name.
I don't know the name. No.
Yeah, so Rebus puzzles are those puzzles where it's like you're looking at pictures and it's supposed to make you think of like a word. I remember when I was in elementary school, you would see them
Oh.
all the time in like Christmas time, where they'd be like, "Hey, what?" You see like a picture of like some bells jingling around. I'm like, "Well, what song is this trying to make you, think of?" It'd be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Jingle Bells."
Jingle bells. Yeah.
Yeah. There was some in this game that had like probably the most complex rebus puzzles I ever have seen in my life. I figured out one, and then the other ones were so obtuse. I was like, I would never, ever, 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 ever in my life figure these out. Um, so yeah, there definitely are some, but otherwise, at least in terms of progression through the mansion, I've been pretty self sufficient. So
Nice.
that's been really enjoyable. I'm somewhere like 40 or 50 hours into this game now. It's pretty wild.
Hmm.
There is a lot in this game, so there's that. I'm hoping that I'll be somewhere closer to finish soon, but we'll see. So is that the other kind of thing that's a huge time sink for me is Pokopia. Surprise, surprise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely should be getting FOMO for this game because the stuff that people are doing are wild. This is like Animal Crossing and like Minecraft and Viva Pinata on crack. There's just so much going on. Um, really, the game has like four big areas that you kind of go through and are trying to like rebuild the town and get new Pokemon. And then
Hey,
there's also other things too.
can
Yeah,
I say something?
of course.
this game is fucked. Like, it is actually kind of fucked up, like story wise. Um,
Oh yeah.
with the Pokemon thinking like, hey, if we build this and do this, maybe the humans will come back. But you're also getting all these like these guides and booklets that are basically saying, yeah, there was like some kind of war or something that happened, and everyone's pretty much dead. Possibly, not 100% sure about that, but I've seen some things like that. It's specifically in like the not the Cloud Islands. What do they call them? What are those islands you can visit once every single day? But
Oh, the Dream
it's a
Islands.
yeah, the Dream Islands. I've seen some of those like booklets from there. Yeah, I would say I looked up some of the stuff, but I didn't because I've been playing this game for like 20 something hours now. I bought it. I have it too.
Oh,
This
did
game
you?
is really good. Yes, this game is really good. Katie also has put a shit ton of time into this game. So
I
like,
knew you would cave eventually. I'm like, this is definitely a
it wasn't
branded
about
game.
caving. It was about having the money.
Fair. But I mean, it definitely seems like it's gonna be like this one definitely is kind of like a word of mouth like system seller. Like it's
Multiple
already sold like
of my
2 something
friends
million.
have been
Yeah.
playing this religiously every
Hmm.
single night. So it wasn't just talking with you that made me be like, I really want this game. It was like literally hearing them talk about it in our Discord chat every single fucking night.
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
But
Some people are doing
it's
some
so
really cool
easy
stuff.
going online to get massively spoiled. So like my friend's been like, when you come to my town, turn around and don't look at anything in front of you. Just look at the stuff behind you. Otherwise, it is going to be a huge spoiler. So I'm like, all right, got it. So I come in and I see the PC when you come in, and then he's like, immediately turn around. Um, and the reason I visited last was because he had those dolls, the Poke dolls that you
Yeah, yeah,
have to
yeah.
give the Drifloon so that it can take you to different dream
Islands.
islands every day. Yeah,
Hmm.
so I mean, I guess you probably already know all this, but like I took a picture of each one of the dolls that he has, because if you take a picture of it, you can use the Pokemetal to use the 3D printer inside the Pokemon Center to make a copy of that item from a picture you've taken.
Hmm.
So I went to his so that I could take a picture of all the Poke dolls, and so I could go to like different Dream Islands each day and see what's there and whatnot. I just started the blueprint for, actually, you know what? Let me just turn it on so I can see what the blueprint is that I'm working on. So I've been uh, visiting, going around, doing a lot of the like just basically fucking around the whole time. I
Hmm.
haven't super been following the story and doing it yet, but I did finish the first Poke Center area that you needed to
Hmm.
do,
Yeah, yeah.
and I just went to the second one. Like I'm literally in the doorway after you enter the second one for the first time right now.
Okay.
That's where I'm at right now. Um, and Professor Tanglegroth is like, "Hey, you should go check in, check around the town
Yeah.
and explore."
Hmm.
So that's where I'm at. And like in the second place, which seems to be a town.
Yeah. So all of these
It's in
seem to be
ruins.
based off of like areas from Pokemon Red, Yellow, Blue.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just kind of destroyed. There's definitely some neat reference areas around
Mm-hmm.
that you will recognize from the games, which is kind of cool. So I mean, you'll definitely see that. Some of the stuff that the people have been building has been incredible. It seems like even people have been able to do like some machine kind of stuff too, which is pretty neat.
Oh, that's cool. I
Hmm.
wouldn't I haven't gotten to stuff like that yet. I've literally just like, so I when I went to one of those, oh yeah, I got to tell you the story. I didn't want to go to one of the dream islands. I didn't want to go to the dream island mostly because my friend was like saying you should go to your dream island, you get one every single day. And when he found out I had the game, he was telling me this and whatnot. I was like, okay, fine, I'll finally do it. I go to Dream Island. I'm on the Dream Island, as you know. In every Dream Island, there is like two caves, basically, that you can go inside of and like dig around and look for materials and stuff. So I ask him, and I quote, after breaking through like a rock wall, is
Hmm.
there a need for like ice crystals and stuff like that? He's like, oh, you have ice crystals. Yeah, those are actually really important. You should pick some of those up. And I was like, okay, cool. So I break through the first ice wall, and I swear to God, This is what I see on the other side. I would like you to describe it for the people at home, because when I send you this picture, you're going to be like, what the fuck? So this is what I saw once I broke through my first Dream Island ice crystal. This is the first thing that was, oh my god, why does it say file exceeds rate limit? Fuck you. I'm going to put it into our chat instead. I'll put it in general. Fuck you. I want to take a picture of this. I don't know. I'm putting it in our Facebook chat so you can look at it.
Okay.
This is the first thing I saw when I opened an ice wall in my first Dream Island. And you could just tell people what it was. And I shit you not, this is literally the first time I went to the Dream Island. The first thing I saw.
Looks like Suicune.
It's fucking Suicune. I was a legendary Suicune at my Dream Island, the first one I went to.
Yeah,
And
you're
you can
lucky.
bet your ass I kidnapped him and brought him to my town. And I
Yeah.
took all the ice with me. I could not believe that. I showed that to my friend, and his response was, "What the fuck?" Like immediately.
Hey, that's pretty lucky. Not a bad problem to have.
So yeah, I I'm not a whole like ways into it, but I've been doing some dumb shit. I definitely did the mandatory run around and water things for like 3 hours, even though I knew something was going to do it for me eventually. I was still like, you know what? It's like a rite of passage. I have to. So I went around and did it because I kind of wanted to anyway, to make some of the like habitats that you need
Yeah.
to get some of the Pokemon to appear, and so I did all that stuff. And honestly, I'm really impressed with this game. You were not kidding. This game is massive. There is
Yeah.
so much. And like I'm barely even scratching the surface because I just went to like the first region area, and like even that, and you know, obviously some of the Cloud Island stuff. I mean, Dream Island stuff. But even just
Mhm.
that, there's so much there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's almost overwhelming how much stuff there is. Yeah, it just never seems to end.
It's really cool. So I started a project yesterday because I don't know if you found this, but I found randomly, either when I was digging or when I went to one of the Dream Islands I went to, a prefab for creating like a home, like an actual house.
Uh-huh.
Like you see all the destroyed houses and stuff and whatnot, but I found a prefab that gives me a built real house. I just have to get all the materials for it and everything. So I've been working on building my Ditto house into that instead of the little rinky-dink fucking shack that you basically get given at the beginning, where you put your flag on. You're like, "This is my house."
Yeah.
So I've been working on a full ass, like, not mansion, but it's like a cottage
Uh-huh.
that it takes up a large amount of space. So I had to like clear out a lot of the area and
Hmm.
like make it possible to actually, you know, to actually build it because it's so big. So and then I had to go find all the materials for it, like the lumber, which I found that you could like you could dump some into like a community chest. And if you have like Scyther, which I think is probably guaranteed to be one of the first Pokemon you get because of what he does, um, he um, he basically, if you dump logs into a community chest, he will cut them. He'll cut them up and make them into lumber for you, and you don't have to
Yes.
continuously go and give them to him and then wait. Instead, he could just do that while you're running around and doing stuff in the world. And honestly, I really think this game's very well made. It reminds me a lot of Dragon Quest Builders. It basically is Dragon Quest Builders, but it has a lot of stuff here that really makes it its own thing as well, which is
Yeah.
very impressive because I was kind of not expecting that. But yeah, I was kind of expecting mostly just like a reskin. But aside from just the Pokemon theme and idea for the game, there's a lot of elements to the gameplay here and abilities that make it so it's very different from, you know, the Dragon Quest Builder series, and makes it its own thing. It's cool. It's cool. I really enjoy this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of really neat stuff in this game. And honestly, like this is like I said, this is going to be a big hit on their hands. I think it's going to end up doing like I mean, it's already doing really well. I think it's going to keep doing really well.
I've been seeing the memes where It's like the front cover of Pokopia, and it's like, I don't want to buy a new system for this. Is
Yeah.
like what's written on it, or like, I don't want to spend $600 for this game,
Hmm.
or that sort of thing, because people are actually looking at this game and being like, yeah, this is I kind of do want to go buy this.
Yeah. Yeah. It is definitely seems like it's going to be a system seller. And people are really digging it. I mean, it's genuinely a very good game. So I mean, definitely people are very happy with
The way I've
what.
been seeing
Yeah.
people react and interact with this game that have played it now,
Hmm.
it's not on the same level, but it's starting to show signs of the same kind of like response we got to when Animal Crossing released on the Switch.
Hmm.
Like, there are people that are really connecting and really doing a lot with this game, and it's really cool to see.
Oh
So
yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Very same kind of energy, I would say. So yeah, that is all excellent. I don't know if I have anything else extra to really say about it because we've already said a lot. I mean, the music's great. There's a lot to do, and it really seems to incentivize, kind of, daily play, which I think is great. So, I'm definitely very happy with it.
although
Everything
it
about
does
it.
incentivize it, it doesn't feel like it's forcing you to also. I think that's a really good point to make. It
Yes, I
doesn't
don't
feel like
feel like
it's
I'm missing
forcing
out
you.
if I don't
You
play
don't feel
something.
like you're missing out on something. It doesn't feel like, ironically, I have the FOMO from not being able to play it beforehand, but now that I can play it, I don't have FOMO if I don't get to play it one day or something during actually playing the game. Like, if I
Yeah.
have other stuff that comes up, I don't feel like I'm missing out,
Hmm.
when I can't do something specifically that day because of, other duties and other stuff I have to do. So I do like that a lot, because I do feel like a lot of that, like, fear of missing out, that FOMO kind of thing, was happening always with Animal Crossing, and it doesn't
Hmm.
feel the same here in this game, even though it
Yeah.
does have elements of that kind of Animal Crossing stuff. I do pop on and go to like people's islands and see what their what do you call it, their blueprints are for the day. So like, I
Hmm.
might go in there or see what they have there. But also, like I mentioned before, you have that Pokemetal, you have the ability to take a picture of an item somewhere and then 3D print it later if you find enough Pokemetal to do that. And I think that's a really good idea, because it makes it feel like, even if you miss out on something, you can get it at any point in time as long as you put in the effort. And I think that's really cool and a really good way of handling things like this.
Yeah, I even saw another comment from a YouTuber that I like that does a lot of Pokemon stuff. And he even pointed out too, he's like, compared to say like the Animal Crossing event when New Horizon came out, like for Easter and stuff, like a lot of the events and stuff are not like super obtrusive, like you don't feel like you're being forced into anything, or missing out on stuff. Like they really did a good job of kind of balancing things out very nicely. So because you remember that first Animal Crossing event was like overbearing. Like you had it was Easter stuff, the bunny was everywhere. It was like kind of stopping you from doing what you want to do. Because right now there's that what's the Pokemon called? Cottony, I think. And
Oh yeah,
it's
fuck
just
that
kind of
guy.
there.
He's so
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just it's there. It's not like he's like jamming shit down your throat and trying to be like, yeah, go to these Dream Islands and get this stuff.
No, no, no. No,
Um,
I actually mean he's annoying because you can have other people inside your Poke Center if he wasn't there for that event.
oh
So
yes, that's true.
that
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 is.
that's why it's kind of annoying, because it's like, okay, I want something different. I've got so much stuff, and I actually don't like what you have. I don't really like a lot of the stuff for the Cottony event. I have a lot of things, and I'm probably just gonna start buying it all just because I want him to leave. Yeah,
Well, I mean, I'm buying it just so I can move them to my town and the other things, but that's about it,
that's
really.
fair too. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, I'm having a great time with it. So,
I think this is one of the better games on Switch 2. And seeing as though this is a Switch 2 exclusive, I do think that this, so far, is the best all-around Switch 2 exclusive. I would probably say my favorite is Kirby Air Rider still, because I really like the competitive nature and how fun that game is,
hmm.
just in general. But it is definitely a very niche title. But I think all around, this is the best exclusive game that's been released on the Switch yet, Switch 2 yet, and I also think it's one of the just better games that's been released on the Switch 2 yet. It's really good.
Oh yeah, 100%. Um, yeah. So I mean, I like I said, I've been very happy with it. So I don't have a lot of extra, extra stuff to say at the moment. I don't know if you have anything else you want to add on there.
I think this is going to sell like hotcakes during Christmas time.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, this like I said, this is definitely going to be a big game. And there was, if I recall, some rumors with the um, what's the word I'm looking for? Terra League, that there's supposed to be some decent DLC for this.
Okay,
So we shall see. So there may be more areas that come down the road. It would not surprise me at all, to be honest.
that's cool.
So yeah. Um, all right. But otherwise, I mean, that's really all I've been playing at the moment. So anything else you want to say on Pokopia? Are you ready to move on to news?
No, I think I'm good. I think we can move on to news.
Okay, let's do it.
So I'm gonna hop back to Marathon for a second, since that was part of the news that I had here
Mm-hmm.
about its crazy ARG. So people have been trying to solve this for a while now, but a bunch of content creators um, from that do things with like Destiny and now do things with Marathon were
Mm-hmm.
given a little package a few weeks ago for the game released at a press event essentially. And the package was just a little, a neat little doodad that Bungie basically gave them, being like, "Hey, you're cool. You've been working with us a lot. Yada yada yada. Here's this thing, essentially."
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Yeah, it's just a little thing you can put on the like have in your stream or whatever. Just a little box that they made that looks like one of the boxes from in the game, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them have had it like in the background for the last few days and everything. Well, today, right before this podcast, I was watching a live stream where people, as I've mentioned, have been trying to solve the ARG puzzle so that they could get into the new map that exists in the game, but you can't access it until the puzzles are all completed.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the content creators that have also been trying to solve the ARG puzzle were there, and one of the Bungie PR teams came in there into their chat and their Discord call while they were playing and trying to solve the puzzle. And they basically did a little impromptu interview. And this interview was kind of weird because
Okay.
there are people wanting to know about the puzzle and the ARG, but they just wanted them to interview them and ask them questions.
Mm-hmm.
People noticed something though. As the
Yeah.
person on the call answered the questions, their boxes started lighting up
Yeah.
in unison.
Mm-hmm.
So as this Bungie person was answering the questions on the call and everything, they had that little box that they got from a few weeks back light up in their background. And these are people that are over in like the UK and like California, Arizona, New York, Florida, whatever, different creators from all over the place. And they're all having this little call where they're talking with this Bungie rep, and there's a stream going on, and their boxes that they have on their in their setup are lighting up and making noises while they're
Mm-hmm.
talking with him, essentially. And so they continue going through this, and they start asking them questions about the ARG that they're trying to solve, and they're being given the most bullshit. I'm not going to actually answer that answers ever. Like maybe, yeah, you might be right. Yeah, that could be it. From a guy that clearly knows what's going on, but is just playing dumb and
Yeah.
not giving them the answers they want and everything. So they go through all of that, and they start talking about Cryo, which is the new map that's opening up for everyone to play, which is a new special map that's supposed to be less like the extraction shooter element of this game and more like a Destiny raid. Which Destiny raids are crazy. They're really fun. There are lots of puzzles. There are lots of combat with the AI and not actual players, and just a bunch of stuff like that, essentially. And so as they're talking with them, they're like, "Okay, well, do you have any more questions?" And they're like, "No, no, not really." He's like, "Okay, all right then." And then he just leaves. He just leaves. So like
Okay.
they're sitting there and they're like, "What the fuck was that? What kind of fucking thing was this? I thought we were going to talk about the ARG. They just vetted questions instead." Like the content creators are talking amongst themselves and everything. And then the guy comes back in. He's like, "Oh yeah, guys, you never asked me about those boxes we gave you." And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, "You remember those boxes we gave you a few weeks back?" And then like all their boxes in unison just start beeping and booping and lighting up and shit in the background, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And they
Hmm.
all pop open,
Okay.
and inside basically says the name of each one of the content creators, and it says, "Pack your bags. You're going to Bungie HQ in 48 hours." And he tells them, "You got 48 hours to get on a flight and get here. We've already made the reservations for you. If you want your questions answered, actually, you'll have to come do it in person." And then the Bungie guy leaves the fucking call, and they're all just like, "I I have to be on a flight and at Bungie in 48 hours." And some of these people are outside of the United States. They're like, "What the fuck do I do?" and
Yeah.
everything. So then people are scrambling. So essentially, what we found out now is that it can be solved by the community, supposedly.
Hmm.
They kind of hinted at that. However, if it doesn't get solved by the community, their content creators will be solving the puzzle in real life at the Bungie HQ in 48 hours, which will guarantee unlocking the map.
Okay.
So they've got some kind of thing set up for the content creators to unlock the next map if the community can't do it. And even if they do it, then they've got something else also set up to go alongside the next map that these content creators will be doing as well.
Hmm.
So something big happens in 48 hours, even if the map unlocks before then, and we don't know what it is.
Okay.
But they did some crazy ARG shit, and then it ended in them inviting content creators for Marathon out to Bungie HQ. And then the rest will be revealed once they get there in the next 48 hours. And this just happened like right before I got on the call with you. So
Okay.
these people are now scrambling trying to get there.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so that's kind of crazy.
Hmm.
There are some people that are still trying to solve the puzzle, because they think that, since it could be unlocked before then, they're like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna go for it."
Hmm.
So yeah, that's where we're at here. And I will just say this, and you've probably seen around a lot of people saying like this game, it's dead on arrival. It didn't sell enough copies, it didn't do enough, it isn't important enough, and this is just going to be like another High Guard or Concord where they just kill off this game in like a month or two. With all of this effort that I just explained to you, do you think that's going to happen? Because I don't.
Wait, hold on. Say that again.
There are several people
Uh huh.
that believe that Marathon will just be killed off like Concord was or High Guard, and because Sony isn't seeing a return on investment. But my question to you is, if these people are being flown out to Bungie HQ, if there's this big of an ARG involved, if there's a bunch of secrets and puzzles and everyone trying to scramble to do this sort of thing, I don't. I think this game has staying power. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of shit going on very quickly in this game that makes me
Hmm.
feel like this isn't the kind of game that will be killed off in like a month.
Yeah, I don't think so. I agree with you. I think that they're in it to win it at this point. And I mean, really, too. You know,
Supposedly they sold like 2 million copies, 3 million copies, somewhere in there, which is not a lot in the long haul because of how big supposedly there's rumored amounts of how much they paid for this game to be made, but we don't know if any rumors are true. We don't know how much of this already had its bones made before they were bought by Sony or any of that stuff. So we don't know any of that information. A lot of
hmm.
people think that this game costs like 250 million to make, essentially, which is a lot. And if you sold 2 million copies it costs 250 million to make this game, you're still not breaking even with those numbers. So a lot of people have been like, "Oh yeah, Sony's just going to pull the plug on this game." But then you look at all of this stuff, like what I just described to you, and like how a lot of people are following this, and they went through all the effort of doing this sort of thing, and it's like, yeah, I don't think this game's just going to have the plug pulled on it in like a month or two or even three. I think this is a thing that's going to be a case where they just keep it running,
Hmm.
and they might even have some kind of like contingency plan if they do have to, like, um pull back and be like, "Hey, we're gonna have to shut down the online portion because there's some stuff here that's really weird. Like Cryo almost feels like it's not even going to be a map with PvP on it. I don't know if that's true, but there's there's a ghost in Cryo. There's aliens in Cryo. We haven't seen that in Marathon yet. These things didn't exist in Marathon yet in this game, in this version of Marathon that we are playing right now.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of stuff. That's a lot of stuff planned ahead. And then I just explained the ARG to you. You know, they're extensively working with the content creators, and it feels like this is something they believe in and that's going to keep going. Kind of like how Rainbow Six Siege did. That game didn't make like any money for its like first year or two, and
Hmm.
then it just blew up overnight essentially and became a mega hit for Ubisoft. Granted, Ubisoft doesn't know how to handle anything, so they eventually let it, die back down again. But, they had a massive hit, and they had, like, very little money that they made from that game during launch, but they just kept letting it go. And I kind of feel like that's going to be what happens with Marathon here. Like, I think once all the whole, everyone's saying, oh, it's dead on arrival, this, that, and the other, because some YouTuber told them this, bunch
Hmm.
of grifters and bullshit like that, as I've already talked about, which is impressive. Because I've never seen people, like I said to my friend, I've never seen people want a game to fail more for no reason whatsoever than this game, and I just don't get it. But then, I look at something like what I just described about this ARG. I look at like this new map, this new like mode, because there are different requirements in order to play the next map that releases. Like you have to go in with $5,000 worth of items in order to start the map. You can't start the map unless you go in with $5,000 worth of items on your person. There's like a credit requirement, and
Okay.
then it requires a team. Like you can't start the map without a team, and then you have to be a certain level, and you have to have all factions unlocked. So there's a lot of stuff you have to do that's very different from any other kind of game of this type, which makes me think that they've got like some really big weird plans for this game, because there's a lot of very different and odd things that have been found out about this, and they've also been working to patch things incredibly quickly and fix things and do balance patches. Like they get patches and things reported on and fixed in the same day. It's
Hmm.
kind of crazy how much it seems like they want to support this game. So, yeah, I think this game's going to be one of those games that bounces back inevitably in the
Hmm.
future, but it's going to be like Rainbow Six Siege essentially, or Warframe, which Warframe was a game where that game didn't take off until many years later, and now it's massive as well. It feels like that kind of experience because of just the sheer amount of ideas that Bungie seems to have for this game, which
Hmm.
are really fucking cool. And you don't go in with like a pre-plan with this many ideas and not expect the game to be able to survive for at least a year,
Yeah.
I,
No,
I,
exactly.
I really like Marathon. I think it's a very good game. I think there's some really interesting things going on here that's very different from any other kind of extraction like game.
Hmm.
Going from Arc to Marathon is very, very different, and it's
Oh,
very
I'm
good.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like Arc was, everyone's friendly, everyone's working together. This game is that, but it's outside the game, not in the game. We are kill on sight in game,
Yeah. Different different crowds for different things for
hmm
sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens here.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad it still seems very optimistic with how things have been. So that's
hmm
great.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say about that. I just wanted to talk about the ARG and how weird things have gotten and how crazy it's become.
Okay. Yeah. Did you have any
Well,
other news stuff you
yeah,
had
I
for me?
got DLSS 5,
Oh
also
yeah.
known as the Snapchat filter. All right, so I don't know how much you know about this. So DLSS itself is already a form of AI upscaling. You already know that.
Yeah.
But with DLSS 5, which they showed off yesterday, it feels like DLSS 5 is putting a filter over everything and like cleaning it up, but in a, you know, when you see those things that are like AI pictures and they're very clearly AI pictures because like everything looks so perfect and it doesn't look natural and it looks really weird, like the
Hmm.
more you look at it. Or it just looks like something that's like hyper sexualized and changed very different from what the character was supposed to look like. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of what DLSS 5 is literally doing in real time. And
Okay.
it's awful. That's it looks like such dog shit. It really really looks bad and it feels like it's a terrible idea that will ruin a lot of the artist like their original vision for the character. A
Hmm.
good example which I will show you is you know, Claire, for instance. Claire is in Resident Evil Requiem. You've played Resident Evil Requiem,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
Wait,
I'm gonna.
Claire?
Yeah, not.
What are
I
you
didn't mean.
talking about?
I didn't mean to say Claire. I'm sorry. Why? What the fuck? Why did I
Is
say
you the
Claire?
Grace?
I meant to say Grace. Yes, I
Okay.
got my Resident Evil female names mixed up for some reason. But anyway, you've seen Resident Evil Requiem. You've played Resident Evil Requiem.
Yeah.
Left side is without DLSS 5, and right side is with DLSS 5. I sent you an image of it. They look like totally different people, and one very much so just looks like one of those AI drawings
Hmm.
or recreations. That's what DLSS 5 is. Like it looks awful, like what they're planning on doing with things. It's ruining a lot of the actual vision of the original game. And I've got another example here because you've seen Chris. I got that one right. I got the male name right.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's Chris without DLSS 5, and here's him with DLSS 5. It looks uncanny, it looks weird, it doesn't look right, it doesn't even look like the same character in some respect. It's really weird. It
What,
almost feels like it's an April Fool's joke. I don't
speaking of
think it
April
is.
Fool's joke, do you mean Leon?
Oh my god, why'd I do it again? I did it again. I did it again. My dude, I'm fried right now. I'm so sorry. I'm fucking this up.
It's
You're right.
okay.
I'm fried right
I'm
now.
like, I'm like, hold on a second, because I'm like, after playing
Yeah,
Resident
no,
Evil
no,
7,
no,
I
no.
was like,
You're
oh yeah,
right. You're
Chris,
right. No, no,
and I'm
you're
like,
right.
wait, that's not Chris.
No, no, no. You're 100% right. I'm fried right now. Sorry. So let me. So I literally just took the two characters from Resident Evil, from a different Resident Evil, and put them in Resident Evil 9. I'm so fucked right now. Grace and Leon
Yes,
is the pictures that I've sent you, and
not
they
Chris
look
and Claire.
very not
Yeah,
Chris and Claire. That's a different game entirely.
yep, yeah.
That would
Actually, I
be.
don't think they've ever been in the same game together, have they? Oh,
I
maybe Veronica.
I
I
think
think Code
Veronica.
Veronica.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
maybe Veronica. Oh, I'm not sure. Let me. Now I gotta
They're
find out.
siblings, but they don't generally appear together that often. So,
Veronica. It was Veronica. Okay, there we go.
okay.
Yep, it is Veronica. Okay, okay, okay. I was like, hold on, hold on. I know it's one of them. You are right. It is Veronica.
Don't worry, I'm
So
sure there's a rumor that they're doing a Code Veronica remake, so it'll be topical again in a couple of years.
yeah,
You
yeah,
remember?
exactly, exactly. But yeah, basically, DLSS 5 just kind of pretties everything up, and it makes it look better, but it completely destroys the original art direction of the characters for better and for worse. Because like, here's a for better example, because we all know that Starfield looks like hot dog shit. So like, I've got Starfield without DLSS 5, and then with it, and like the character obviously looks better with DLSS 5, but it doesn't look like the same person. It doesn't really look. It just looks so bad. It looks like they threw a Snapchat filter on top of everything and called it a fucking day.
I
And I
mean, that
don't like.
character model, to be fair, does look 1,000 times better
Oh,
with
it does.
DLSS.
100%. 100% for DLSS 5. But it doesn't look like the same character either. And
No.
that's
Mhm.
something else you also have to admit.
Yes. Still wearing the same clothes, but at least they look like a person instead of an N64 person.
Correct. I agree.
Um, yeah.
But it just doesn't look right, and
Yeah.
it's very uncanny, and it in some cases, as I've shown with the Resident Evil 9 screenshots, it kind of ruins the entire character model and what they were originally meant to look like. It
Hmm.
just makes it like Hollywoodified. Like we put a bunch of makeup on them and called it a fucking day. And it's not being received very well. It's being memed to hell and back. And a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of people have gone as far as to be like, I kind of hope this is Nvidia's April Fool's Day joke because it feels like one because of how dog shit is. It is really bad. And people have like even started like trying to like cope by being like, "Oh, this has just got to be their April Fool's Day joke. There's no way this is real. It can't. They can't be this stupid." And that's bad enough. But here's the other part of it that I haven't mentioned yet.
Uh-huh.
In order to run this Snapchat filter, it requires $3,000 graphics cards.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah,
Just
six
two?
grand in order to run this Snapchat filter. One graphics card runs the game, and the other graphics card just runs DLSS 5.
Oh, jeez.
It requires its own separate graphics card at this point in time. Now, they stated that they're going to optimize it and do this, that, and what, and the other for it. But, like, dude, this is insane. No one wants this. This is not something gamers actually want. This is not something players actually want. This is a way to sell their graphics cards and
Hmm.
to use AI at the same time so that they can, continue pushing for AI while also selling extra graphics cards if it does require its own dedicated graphics card. This is stupid. It's literally so dumb. No normal person will be able to run this. No console will ever be able to run this. And it also just completely destroys the original artistic quality and what the like directors and designers were going for. It just doesn't look the same. And in some cases, yeah, that's fine. That's for the better. But in other cases, no. It just looks bad. So, yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see some devs taking advantage of this and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna make some shitty models
Mhm.
and then just let the AI clean it up for me.
Which is kind of what already happens when it's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna put out a shittily optimized game and let the AI upscaling take care of it for me. And
Yeah.
and if you go from that to now I'm going to make shitty models and barely do any work, it's just a way to even replace artists who are already in the art field, which is crazy to think about. Because
Hmm.
that's what it feels like. It feels like this is another way of replacing artists. Because you take the original artist's work and you change it to what you want it to be now.
Hmm.
Or not what you, but what DLSS 5 thinks it should be now.
Yeah, what the
And
computer thinks it should
yeah,
be.
yeah, what the AI thinks it should be. And that's just fucking garbage. I think this is one of the worst things that Nvidia has done and tried to sell to people. I think this is going to go over for like a lead balloon, and I think that anyone who looks at this and is like, "Oh yeah, um, this is something I would definitely pay for," I think they need their fucking head examined.
I did see someone from Epic today was like, oh, I'm surprised, if this was a new game reveal, people would be eating it up like crazy. Um, oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah, if they totally changed the character model and design, did they forget what happened when people showed off uh oh god, I'm about to fuck it up again. When people showed off James initially for the Silent Hill 2 remake and he looked very different, they were like,
Hmm.
"No, that's not James. That looks like shit." And it was so just like overwhelmingly negative that they went back and changed it.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I think what you need to remember with Epic Games here is they're very heavily into AI being the future, and they've talked a lot about AI this and Chat GPT that, and this sort of thing, and always talked favorably of it and like acted like it is the be all end all for everything, and that we need to just get used to being replaced because it's going to happen. And honestly, if someone's saying that and then they're like, "Yeah, this looks great," that's probably a great indication that this is fucking bad. Like this is really bad, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, and it could
Either
be.
that or obviously they're on the payroll, which is entirely possible as well because, Nvidia's got people in their pockets everywhere.
Yeah. Also could be
Like
possible too.
even with fucking Digital Foundry, when they did a huge video yesterday, everyone in the comments was like, "You forgot to put ad in your ad video." Everyone was like making fun of them and everything. And they were like, "This is literally just a 25-minute ad for DLSS 5, and you're not going to convince me otherwise." And like everyone was calling them out on their bullshit. Like Digital Foundry was getting raked over the coals yesterday for this shit.
Yeah, that sounds like maybe they should be if they're, not really taking this stuff. I guess it depends on how they're taking it, I suppose.
Oh, they're
Um,
lying out their fucking lying through their fucking teeth, basically. On the looks of it, they're like, yeah, it's transformative. It's so, it's inventive. They're using all the words to go around calling it what it is, essentially, but
mhm,
also doing everything to use all the buzzwords to be like, hey, Nvidia's the future and all this other shit, and it just, I'll say what the one of the top comments said, which very clearly is probably correct.
mhm.
They said, if Nvidia's holding you hostage, blink twice. That's what it said, basically. Because like everyone saw how they were trying to spin it and how it felt like a gigantic ad
Mhm.
and how no one was buying it in the comments. But they were trying to hype it up to be like, the best thing since sliced bread, essentially. And they felt just, this is the first time that I've looked at a Digital Foundry video and I've thought to myself, yeah, they've been compromised. Like most of the time I look at a Digital Foundry video and I'm like, okay, the information they're giving me here, it feels more like impartial, but the information they gave me on this video for DLSS 5 felt like a undisclosed ad the entire time, and everyone else felt the same way.
Very strange for them,
Mm-hmm.
I would say at least.
Oh, it is very strange for them.
Mhm.
At least, yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I feel as well. I feel like that's not a normal thing for them. So
No, not typically. So usually they're the people you expect to tell you everything that's going on. So yeah, I don't know. I do not know.
yeah, I
Um,
think that's it for me. I ain't got any more news. So
okay. The only other thing I got on here was there was a pretty substantial Switch 2 update. I think it was last night. But the big thing that it added was it made it so that there is a mode now for the Switch 2 where you can boot up Switch 1 games as if they're on TV mode while you're
oh,
playing on
I
handheld.
saw this, and it made
Mhm.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 playable in
Yeah,
handheld.
it makes
Finally,
a huge difference for a lot of games. Um, so yeah, that is a pretty big win for people who have been playing Switch One games on their Switch Two. Because some things like Xenoblade Two looked heinous. Um,
yeah, it's practically unplayable on handheld.
yeah, so nice surprise update there. I don't think anyone really expected it. The big trade off is, and it's not really unexpected, but you can't use like the touchscreen or like those kind of things when you're using that particular mode, and that's because the obviously the
Oh,
Switch thinks it's in
did
TV
you
mode. So
did you see Xenoblade Chronicles X and the comparison someone did?
no,
Okay, so someone downloaded the Switch 1 version of Xenoblade Chronicles X,
uh-huh,
and they had the Switch 2 version of Xenoblade Chronicles X. So they had the Switch 1 version running with boost mode on,
mm-hmm.
and they had the default Switch 2 version running both in handheld. The Switch 1 version looked infinitely better than the Switch 2 version.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, so the difference is like the trade-off difference is obviously 30 FPS as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to the Switch 2 version, which I do think is 60 if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is 60. So that's the trade-off there, but the AI upscaling that's used, as we've kind of talked a little bit about this in Xenoblade Chronicles X on Switch 2, is kind of bad. And when you use the boost mode instead of the AI upscaling that's used in the Switch 2 version, it just looks way better on a handheld.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty cool to see. It was very, very odd. I kind of want to find that video for you because it's a very big difference. see if I can find it quick because I was watching this earlier.
Yeah, I've not seen this thing.
Oh yeah, I got it. Okay, I got a picture of it. There you go. So the left side is the Switch 2 edition, and the right side is the Switch 1 edition with boost mode on.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that looks way better.
Right?
Yeah. Although I also
It's
kind of wonder. I mean, it's kind of unfair screenshot, but I mean, it definitely looks much better
that's
in
from a
boost mode.
video. It's not a screenshot. It's in. You can see it in video, and it also like there's a very big difference. Like if you want to actually see it.
Yeah, but it looks like it's video, but not like it looks like it's off-screen video.
You have to. You can't capture boost mode footage with on-screen recording at the same time. Much like you just mentioned how you can't capture what do you call it? You can't do touchscreen with boost mode on.
Mm-hmm.
On-screen recording doesn't work correctly with boost mode on either, so they have to do off-screen recording. But you can see in that video a very, very distinct difference between the two.
I mean, it's really noticeable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like obviously there's some trade-offs, some graphical things like the assets. They're not as there's more assets in the Switch 2 version. There's because you can like see the poles back there kind of redesigned a bit. There's more characters that are like closer rendered more, I guess, and not and moving at a higher frame rate.
Mm-hmm.
But they also kind of get taken off the screen. Honestly, the main takeaway I have here is that the Switch 2 looks worse, but would play better.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's kind of a trade-off because
yeah.
But it's if you watch that video, you can see all the different things from it, and it's kind of crazy. Some of them's like very, very different compared to normal mode versus boost mode. As you mentioned with like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, boost mode is like it's essentially a remaster of the game.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So it is nice that they have the options there for people. So, and I've heard some other games look pretty nice like that too, like Metroid. What other ones were there? Metroid. Some of the Pokemon games all look pretty nice with these things. So, yeah.
Yep.
So nice upgrade.
I'm thinking boost mode looks really good. I actually made a joke to my friend after we saw some of the boost mode videos versus what Nvidia's doing within DLSS 5. I said Nintendo does what Nvidia doesn't.
I don't know, that one screenshot in boost mode has got a nice glow up to him, so maybe not.
The AI is the non-boost mode version. That's the funny part.
Yeah. But otherwise, that's all the news I got.
Yep. Yeah, same.
What else do you want to talk about before we wrap up?
I got nothing.
Okay. Well, on that note then, thank you everyone for listening to us tonight. Don't forget you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. All of our old episodes are available on game-crunch.com. Brandon.
Hello.
Any final thoughts?
No. I'm not feeling very good, and I just want to go to bed.
Okay.
I can't. I have other things I have to do after this.
Okay. Well, at least get you headed in the right direction.
Yeah, for like a few hours.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it. My name is Mike Anastasia. You can find me online on Clash of Penguin there or on your favorite gaming console. And until next week, game on.
Game on.
Cobblestone roads in the morning sun, blueprints spread where the wild grass runs, little red roofs where the pitch you play, stacking my dreams block by block all day. Game on, welcome to Pokopia, raise that town from the ground, come on, from the first small shop to the stadium, shuffle up the plans and sing along. Game on, in the heart of Pokopia, hey, we're building up a home where the brave belong. Game on. Lanterns swing over market stalls, Laughter echoes off half-built walls. Choosy, jiggly, buff guard in the square. Won't let the workers nap out there. Game on! Welcome to Pokopia. Raise that town from the ground, come on. From the first small shop to the stadium. Shuffle up the plans and sing along. Game on, game on. In the heart of Pokopia, hey, we're building up a home where the brave belong. Game on, hey, hey, hey. One more house on the hillside, one more bridge over blue. Every brick, every bright-eyed partner leaning in, saying, "We got you." Game on! Welcome to Pokopia. Raise that town from the ground, come on. From the first small shop to the stadium. Shuffle up the plans and sing along. Game on, game on. In the heart of Pokopia, hey, we're building up a home where the brave belong. Game on, hey, hey, hey.
Yeah, there should be.
There it is. That's it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, that boost mode is crazy difference between the Switch 2 and the original Switch version. It's like, what the fuck? What are we doing here?
Yeah, I haven't even got a chance to really play through it yet. So there's definitely a few games I definitely think would be pretty get a good benefit from it, I would think. So
Yeah, Bayonetta supposedly looks really good.
oh yeah, Bayonetta's another good example too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that game probably gets a nice glow up from it, I would think.
Yeah, probably because of the what's the word I'm looking for? The like lack of aliasing in that game
Mm-hmm.
in handheld mode versus probably what you get in boost mode.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. I'm done. Bye-bye.
All right. Feel better. Have a good night.
Thank
and
you.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right. So yeah.
All right, man. Have a good night. Bye.
Night.
Mm.